What it do, YouTube? MJM for Life here, and today we're going to be talking some Pokemon X and Pokemon Y. Um, most of you guys probably already know by now, but just in case you don't, Pokemon X and Y were just recently announced, and there's a couple things interesting about Pokemon X and Y. The first thing is that it's going to be released simultaneously across the world, pretty much. So Japan, the US, UK, France, Germany, and all the other variations of Pokemon translations will be released all at the same time, which is incredible. The other thing is that it's going to be for the 3DS, so Pokemon is no longer going to be on the Nintendo DS system. It's going to be on I guess it's still the same system, but the 3DS version. So the game's going to be completely 3D, and there's a trailer. I'm pretty sure, again, most of you guys have all seen the trailer, but just in case you haven't, the link will be in the top right-hand corner. A lot of the things that I'm going to be talking about are going to be based on the trailer. So if you haven't seen it, probably go watch that first and then rewatch this video. But if you have, which you probably have already, then ignore what I just said. So anyway, so the trailer was released, I think, today even, and I actually just found out about Pokemon X and Y today, honestly, because I just started school and I have a son and all that other stuff, so I really didn't know anything about it until just now. And it's crazy that they're already releasing a new game, and that's going to be released at the same time simultaneously across the world. So this kind of lets you know that they've been working on this probably since Gen 4. They had this in the back burner and have kept it concealed really, really nicely, in my opinion. But anyway, so a lot of interesting questions have been raised. Obviously, when a new Pokemon game is announced, this happens every single time, and I'm going to kind of try to address some of these questions. So, if we take a look at the starters here, these are the three starters that were confirmed: Chespin, Froakie, and Fennekin. Again, with any new Pokemon game, the starters typings are, well, not the starters typings, but the dual typings come into question because as gamers, we really care about the typings, the stats, and the move pool. That's really all that we care about. So, as right now, we don't have the stats of the move pool, so mainly what we care about now is typing. And a lot of people have already speculated about the typings, and I think the thing that makes the most sense to me after watching the video multiple times is that Chespin is probably a grass dark type. When you look at the video, when it shows the battle scenes, it shows Chespin going up against a Magikarp using what looks like Solar Beam, in my opinion. Some sort of Solar Beam attack on Magikarp. And then in the next clip, it has Chespin going up against a Golurk and using some sort of dark-looking move. It might be Night Slash or maybe Feint Attack. It kind of looks like one of those two attacks. And the reason, if you take a look at the video and you analyze it, you'll notice that the battle scenes for each of the three starters are against Pokemon that either resist the moves that they're using, or the moves are super effective against them. In this case, Chespin was attacking a Magikarp, which obviously, since it's a grass Pokemon, that's a super effective move against Magikarp, and it was also attacking a Golurk. And since speculation that it might be part dark, that makes sense since that it would be attacking a Golurk. It also could be a Ghost type, but that's just not as likely as a dark type, as it kind of since the dark brown tones kind of lean towards a dark type. Now, Froakie, a lot of people were saying that this would be a water fighting type. It was just like the other frog evolution of Poliwrath. So this is probably another water fighting frog. What would indicate this in the video? Obviously, it's a water type because they show it attacking a Panseer with what looks to be like a water gun or something. But also, it's attacking a Patrat with some sort of move. Maybe it kind of looks like close combat, almost like it just goes in close and just starts attacking it from all around. It may be close combat. Now, a lot of people were thinking that it might be an electric attack because of like the blue sparks that are seen flying from the attack in the video. But I think the common conception is that it's kind of hard to tell what type of attack that is, but I think when you look at the other two Pokemon, you can kind of deduce that Froakie must be a fighting type, and we'll get to that when we talk about Fennekin, which we're going to do right now. So Fennekin is obviously a fire type, and in the video or the trailer, or whatever, it shows it attacking a Munchlax, which with a fire attack, probably Ember or Flamethrower or Fire Pledge or some sort of fire attack, and obviously Munchlax resists the fire attack because of Thick Fat, but we already know that's a fire attack, so that doesn't really matter. But it also shows it attacking Kirlia with what looks to be like a psychic, some sort of psychic attack, maybe Psywave, kind of. I'm thinking it might be Psywave. And so that kind of leans towards the fact that it's probably going to be a fire psychic type, so that would mean a third fire psychic type. Obviously, the most notable fire psychic type is Victini, but the other one that's kind of forgotten is Darmanitan. Its Zen mode is a fire psychic type. So I guess it's technically two Pokemon, since Zen mode is an ability that makes Darmanitan fire psychic type. But anyway, so Fennekin is looking to be a fire psychic type. So if we take the fact that Chespin is a grass dark and Fennekin is a fire psychic, then Froakie must be a water fighting, because that would kind of make the rock paper scissors between fire, water, and grass, but go in reverse. So right now, obviously, grass is good against water, which is good against fire, which is good against grass, but it would go reverse. So because Fennekin is a psychic type, it would be good against Froakie because it would be fighting, and since Froakie is a fighting type, it would be good against Chespin because it is dark, and since Chespin is a dark type, it would be good against Fennekin because it is a grass type. But now, that means so it's like rock paper scissors, but it also works in reverse. So if Chespin is indeed dark and Fennekin is indeed psychic, then it only makes sense for Froakie to be fighting, even though we can't say for sure what type of move Froakie is using in the video. So that's the common belief right now, and I'm gonna say that makes a lot of sense based on the video judging on the video and things of that nature. So that's kind of an interesting dynamic that we have yet to see with the starter Pokemon, and I think it's welcomed in my opinion. Now the only difference is speed, because if Froakie is faster than Fennekin, it really doesn't matter that it's a psychic type, because if you can just OHKO it with Hydro Pump, so speed tiers will make a big difference in this. But just based on just typing alone, it's kind of an interesting dynamic between the three starters, and I think that's kind of refreshing to the Pokemon universe. So, that's all there is about. Obviously that's not all there is, but that's all we know about them so far. I really don't want to get into them too much. I really want to start talking about the legendaries, because the word is still out on them. It's so unclear about what they are. So the legendary to the left is going to be the Pokemon X, and in the video, if you pause it at a certain moment, you can see that Pokemon X actually has X's in its eyes, and then Pokemon Y is the legendary red Pokemon to the right. Now Pokemon X is very interesting because it kind of has a Sawsbuck, Cobalion, Arceus type feel to it, like all those combined into one. Pokemon X has these little horns which are multicolored, so maybe it's a normal type with the multi-type ability, maybe another multi-type Pokemon like Arceus, and it can use the plates. That's an idea speculating around, and but I'm thinking that maybe that this Pokemon might be a Steel type. It kind of looks like a Steel type to me, in my opinion. And then the multicolored horns, maybe it has a new attack akin to Genesect's Technoblast, where if you have a certain item attached to it, then the attack becomes a certain type. Like, so it has yellow, maybe it can have an electric, a water, a fire. It's got some purple in there, so maybe it has a ghost or some orange, or maybe maybe it can be all types, but it's kind of like an Arceus kind of Genesect mix, where it's a Steel type, but it doesn't change its typing, but it just changes the type of attack that it gets. It obviously would have a new Pokemon X only move that is akin to Technoblast, and I kind of think that would be interesting. I kind of am hoping for something like that. A lot of people were saying that it might be a Steel Grass type because it's shown in a forest, so maybe it's probably Grass type. But the thing about that is that if you notice in Pokemon, I can almost say this with 100% certainty, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that every single Pokemon that is grass is green colored. Not to say that every green colored Pokemon is a grass Pokemon, because we know that Politoed and Rayquaza are examples of green Pokemon that aren't grass, but every Pokemon that is grass is green that I can think of right off the top of my head. I can't think of any one grass Pokemon that's a grass Pokemon that isn't green. Like, even Ferrothorn has a little bit of green in it. So that would lead me to believe that this Pokemon may not be grass, just because of the fact that there's no green in it, other than, it doesn't even have green in its horn colors there. So I'm thinking that it might be just a straight up Steel type and have that, Technoblast thing, and that's where the horn colors come into play. But yeah, a lot of people are saying that these two legendaries might be steel types. I can see the first one being steel type, Pokemon X, but Pokemon Y, I just really can't see that being a steel type. I heard someone, or I read someone saying that, this might be a steel, Pokemon Y might be steel flying, and it just doesn't, I'm not really getting the steel flying vibes from this Pokemon. Now, I know in Gen 4, Dialga and Palkia, they were, I really couldn't tell what they, now Palkia kind of looked like a water Pokemon, but both Dialga and Palkia didn't look like dragons to me, so, looks can be deceiving, but I know definitely for sure, I can almost say, I'm really, really sure that Pokemon X is going to end up being a steel type. It just looks like a steel type to me. It's just screaming steel type to me. And now Pokemon Y, in my opinion, it really just looks like your typical dragon flying type. I know that's really boring and people really don't want to see that again, but it kind of just looks like a dragon flying. I read somewhere that somebody was saying that it might be fire type, and he or she only probably said that because it's red, but I'm really not getting a fire Pokemon vibe from it, even though it is red. It could be, I don't know. I'm just not feeling steel. I guess claws kind of maybe may have a steel type Pokemon vibe to it, but other than that, I really don't see steel type in this Pokemon. I'm thinking just either straight up dragon or dragon and flying. In my opinion, that's what this Pokemon might be. I think there's so much to go with the legendaries. Like, are they going to have new abilities? Or are they just going to have recycled old abilities? Like, for example, the Pokemon X having multi-type, just like Arceus. Or are they going to have kind of like the way they did it in Gen 5 with Reshiram and Zekrom, where they basically just had Mold Breaker with just a different name. I don't know why they just call it Mold Breaker, because that's basically what it is. But who knows? So much to think about, so much to speculate on. The last thing I wanted to talk about were types and evolutions. So I made a comprehensive list of... Get out of this for a second and go here. I made a comprehensive... Oh, definitely not that. So hold on a second. That's actually Maria's poetry that she wrote, and I'm pretty sure she wouldn't want me showing that to the masses. Okay. Some technical difficulties here. Oh, shit. Well, we'll have to go back to that later, as my computer is not working. Okay, so we'll go to types later. So the other thing is evolutions, and this is a list of all the Pokemon in each gen that does not have an evolution. And I just want to go through this list real quick and just kind of speculate on whether or not these Pokemon will get evolutions in the next gen. And that's kind of something that I didn't like about Gen 5, was that it was completely separate from the other gens, and I was hoping that some of these Pokemon would get evolutions or pre-evolutions, kind of like they did with Snorlax and Clefable and Pikachu in the previous generations. I was hoping that this would happen for this generation, and in the video you do see a wild Pikachu appear, so there is the chance that they might reconcile with the past and kind of give some of these Pokemon that are just kind of sitting there by themselves an evolution or pre-evolution. So I think Farfetch'd, first and foremost, is definitely a Pokemon that should evolve. It's kind of just a bad Pokemon in general as it is currently, and I definitely think Farfetch'd should evolve. Kangaskhan, I think, is a Pokemon that just should probably get a pre-evolution. Pinsir definitely shouldn't evolve. It's already pretty good, but Tauros, Lapras is another Pokemon. Ditto is another Pokemon. Aerodactyl. I definitely could see a pre-evolution for Aerodactyl, but other than that, Aerodactyl would be fine the way it is. We go into Gen 2 here. I think Girafarig should definitely get something, either an evolution. I would love an evolution, but a pre-evolution would be nice as well. Obviously, if it got a pre-evolution, that means Girafarig would still suck. But, at least it's just not just a giraffe just standing there. Dunsparce is definitely a Pokemon that should evolve. I think it needs to have something more to its evolution. Right now, Dunsparce is just one of those Pokemon that's just sitting out there and it isn't doing much. Quillfish is another Pokemon that I feel like should evolve. Quillfish actually got a lot more play with its Dream World ability Intimidate. When its Dream World ability Intimidate got released, it also has good typing. Water Poison is actually pretty good typing in the current metagame, so that's why it's good, even though its stats aren't that great. But I definitely think that it's another Pokemon who's just sitting out there by itself and just needs help. And I think Quillfish should definitely evolve. Shuckle is interesting because Shuckle's defenses are pretty godly, but its HP is terrible. I think if this Pokemon evolved, they would just be too strong. I mean, unless they made an offensive Shuckle of evolution, but I don't really think Shuckle should evolve. Heracross definitely should not evolve. It's already too good. Corsola, it sucks anyway. Who cares? Delibird, Delibird. I think Delibird should get an evolution. Like, I think Delibird is just one of those troll Pokemon that are in the game right now. Like unknown, like it's just a troll Pokemon. And Delibird's another one of those Pokemon. It also has access to Hustle and some actually pretty decent moves like Hustle plus Ice Shard, Hustle plus Aerial Ace, which never misses. Like, I mean, I think Delibird should get some more support. Get some Delibird love in this thing. Another Pokemon, Stantler. I feel like Stantler. I mean, it's just bad in general. Do something with Stantler, please. Smeargle definitely shouldn't evolve. Miltank doesn't need to evolve. Obviously, Entei, Raikou, Suicune, those don't need to evolve. Sableye is the Pokemon who I was praying got an evolution in Gen 5 because Sableye, I mean, it got Prankster, which makes it actually usable. It's actually underused, obviously, but I feel like if Sableye got an evolution, plus being a Dark Ghost type, it would just be much, much better and probably usable in overused play. I really think Sableye should, if no other Pokemon gets an evolution or a pre-evolution, I think Sableye should get one. I think it just has to happen. Mawile is another Pokemon that's kind of just sitting there and like by itself, like Mawile. Like I don't know. I feel like they should do something with Mawile. Plusle and Minun, who cares? Volbeat Illumise, who cares? Torkoal, I mean, I really don't care for Torkoal, so I don't care. Spinda, though, Spinda should definitely get an evolution. Spinda actually became a semi-decent Pokemon when it got Contrary Ability plus superpower in the Dream World. So I really feel like Spinda should evolve. They should just keep on going, keep on riding that Spinda train and just give it an evolution. I mean, it's already a goofy-looking Pokemon, and it was pretty much a troll Pokemon before it got Contrary. They need to just make that thing evolve. Zangoose is too good, doesn't need to evolve. Seviper doesn't really need to evolve. Lunatone, Solrock, obviously. I feel like Castform is another Pokemon that's just sitting out there in the open and has room for something to happen to it. I feel like Castform should definitely evolve into something, a more powerful weather Pokemon, if you will. Kecleon, it can just stay Kecleon, who cares? Tropius is another Pokemon. Absol definitely does not need to evolve. Relicanth, I mean, it's actually a decent Pokemon. It definitely, I don't really feel like it needs an evolution. Love Disc, though, something needs to be done with this. Like, this is probably the trolliest Pokemon of all Pokemon. First of all, I was surprised that it had nothing to do with Alomomola. Second of all, it's just terrible. Something needs to happen with this. Either they need to make it evolve or just get rid of it from the game all in general. Obviously, don't do that, but still, like, just do something with this. Seriously, that's sad. I feel sad for Love Disc. Obviously, none of these Pokemon need evolutions. Pachirisu, it's just like a bootleg Pikachu, just like Plusle and Minun. So we really don't. I mean, I really don't care about Pachirisu. But Chatot, Chatot is actually a decent Pokemon, and I feel like it deserves an evolution. Something should happen, even if it's just a bigger version of what Chatot already looks like. Honestly, I feel like Chatot should evolve. Spiritomb definitely should stay the same. If it evolved, it'd just be too good. Carnivine, who cares? Rotom kind of has evolutions, sort of. Azelfin, Dialga, no. Actually, surprisingly, Gen 4 doesn't really have that many Pokemon that don't evolve. Because, I mean, it's mostly just add-ons to the original, to Pokemon that already existed, so that's kind of why. And none of these Pokemon should evolve. Now, finally, Gen 5, I feel like Audino should get a pre-evolution, kind of like a, sort of akin to the Cleffa, Igglybuff sort of chain there. Throw and Sock really don't need something. I feel like Basculin, there could be some room for improvement with Basculin. Basculin's already a pretty good Pokemon, right, with the adaptability plus Waterfall Stab. And in the rain, it's a pretty hard hitter. I think Basculin could evolve into something. Maractus, who cares? And Malga is another Pokemon it's really fast, but then everything else is just subpar about it. I feel like Malga should definitely get an evolution. Alomomola is a pretty decent Pokemon. It doesn't really need help. Cryogonal, it's just... who cares? Stunfisk, who cares? Druddigon's already a beast. Buffalan's a beast. Heatmore is actually a pretty decent Pokemon in the lower tiers. Durant definitely doesn't need to evolve. Durant is amazing. I don't know why this thing is not used more. Especially now that it has superpower. It's so good. Cobalion, Terrakion. Obviously, none of these Pokemon need to evolve. And that's it. I think I missed Girafarig because I don't remember mentioning Girafarig. Is Girafarig on here? Yeah, Girafarig. I think I just skipped over it, didn't I? Did I? I don't remember mentioning it, but whatever. So now we can go back, hopefully, to this Microsoft Word thing. Let's see. Nope, it's still not working. Oh, that is unfortunate. Hold on, give me a second while I try to figure this out. This is how I make my videos, if anyone was wondering. iMovie for the Mac. Amazing, amazing, amazing. I'm so mad because I didn't even save it. Oh, here we go. Yes, yes. All right. So this is my comprehensive list of all the types that haven't been used yet. So we got, fire, water, fire, grass, fire, ice, blah, 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 all the way down to steel ghost, which some of these types I really feel like they definitely need to make. Like steel ghost, I think that would be an amazing type. Like a rock dragon, that would be a really, really good type. What are some other types that maybe stand out? A fighting dragon, that would be just broken. That would be way too good. What else? Electric grass is already made. I guess I just forgot about Rotom. Electric ice again, Rotom. Rotom kind of fucked me up a little bit because I completely forgot about it. What's another good type? Is there a grass ghost? I kind of put that in there, but I for some reason I can't. I feel like there's a grass ghost. Whatever. Ice and rock is really good. Would probably be good. No, it's walled by. Well, not really walled by Heatran because I mean Heatran is still normal. So like some of these types, like Poison Dragon, would just be interesting types just to have in the game. Or you know what would be another interesting type? A Dark Psychic or even a Dark Dragon. That would be really interesting. Actually, now that I think about it, the legendary Pokemon Y could be a Dark Dragon. I would not be surprised if Pokemon Y was a Dark Dragon. That'd be very interesting. And I mean, yeah, I think Rock Dragon, Dark Psychic is interesting. Steel Ghost would be a very dominant type. I feel that's definitely OU worthy because that's almost a near perfect Terrakion counter. Especially if it had Levitate, that would be the Terrakion counter. And some of these other types. So this is just a list of all the types that haven't been used yet. And I really think that they probably should put most of these types in the game just to have that that diversity, because that's really all that there's left to go with Pokemon is to add these types that haven't been added in yet. And I mean, maybe some new features like some people were talking about that there might be an option to customize your character or whatever now that it's on the 3DS, which would be a cool addition. But I really feel like the best thing you can do to Pokemon is to add more types that are usable, like not freaking a Rock Ghost Love Disc like that. That doesn't do anything for us. We're serious gamers and we want Pokemon that are usable for the tiers in the metagame. But that's gonna do it for this video. My analysis of the Pokemon Pokemon X and Y game. Got to get used to saying X and Y. And hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have anything to add, feel free to add it into the comment section. If your own opinions, love to hear them. With that, I'm going to be out of here, so don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and like, and I'm out of here. Deuces.